Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Shannon Kaiser, and I'm here to help you awaken and align with your true self so you can live the life you're made for. Today's message is a very special message, not only because it is a brand new year, but we're going to look at a forecast for 2021. 2020 brought many of us to our knees. It was a very challenging year for so many and a very good year at the same time for many others. It was unprecedented, the things we've experienced and witnessed and gone through, and this provided a massive opportunity for growth, even understanding into ourselves and each other. I look back on 2020 and I see it as a true transformational year for both individually and us as a collective. So 2020, as difficult as it was, it really did provide us with an opportunity for massive growth. And truly, we had an opportunity to get into alignment. So what does that mean for 2021? As we step fully into the new Age of Aquarius, which is also known as the Age of Intuition that we are now in now, it's really about looking deeper and understanding there's more going on. I experienced a monumental breakthrough in 2020 myself. Many of my coaching clients have, and friends and family. Something profound happened to me last year, and I can no longer hide from it or ignore. And that's what today's message is about. That's the overarching idea behind where we're going today. Because I've been an empath and a very intuitive person my whole life. But I never really understood this or trusted these abilities until last year, 2020. My whole entire life, I have had an intuition, an inner knowing, if you will, about things. And I didn't understand it because, well, I didn't trust it. How can you trust something you don't actually see? But this past year, 2020, my intuition got so loud. It was like it was screaming at me, and anything that was inauthentic or anything that was of a false light or in a manipulating manner, it became so overly obvious, and it was crystal clear to me because my intuition was on point. The last year, it's so interesting because my intuition every day was giving me guidance and leading me to new teachers, new resources, new tools, and a deeper awareness about myself, others, and the way the world really works. And this was an awakening to the bigger truth that is available to us all. So where am I going with this? I was cracked open into a deeper part of myself that was always there, but I was afraid to reveal. And that is the opportunity available to us all. The message I have for you today is deeper because it's more about how we can thrive in this new energy. And really, it's a forecast for 2021. Because I learned firsthand that I can no longer hide this part of me or deny my truth. And it's part of me, it's a gift that's been given to me. And I have to honor this gift. I have to trust it. I have to hone in on it. And it would be a disservice to both myself and the world to not bring that forward. You too have a gift, and it's important to honor that. That's part of the newness that we are emerging into. So today, I'm taking you through a message that's quite different than where we've been with Play with the World, but is more in alignment and in tuned to the true potential of what this is and where we can go together. So I'm using this gift in a new way, if you will. A forecast is not something I've done before, but here we are, 2021, a yearly forecast. As we step forward, I want to offer you this message. It's a guidance, and it can help steer you forward with more clarity, conviction, and focus. It's a combination of my own personal experience, my intuition, my spiritual teachers, and what I've learned from them, as well as the awareness that I will offer to you to help bring forward the key things we should know about the upcoming year. So welcome to the new age of golden light. It is a time for unity, compassion, oneness, integrity, and truth. So let's dive into it. The yearly forecast for 2021. The age of Aquarius, the age of intuition, is here. My author friend Sarah Wiseman explained this new energy and the new age we are now in such an eloquent way. She says, on solstice of December 2020, we entered into the age of Aquarius, which will last until 2159. It gives us permission to release old structures and begin the thrilling task of pioneering a new future. The age of Pisces is over, and with that tumbles down the beliefs we've been living under since 1413. Rulers and religion, conquest and control, sin and separation. Not anymore. Now, Aquarius is here, and we move into a system based on collaboration and collective leadership. We are pioneers set out to build a new earth based on the understanding that our true power and the only possibility for a future on this planet comes from oneness. The second thing to think about is intuition is your guiding light. Trust it. We are now living in the age of intuition. Now more than ever, we can learn to work with this innate gift that is within us all. The world has told us not to trust this part of ourselves, to look outside for the answers, but look where that's gotten us. It's actually been a manipulation and a distraction that was designed to prevent us from accessing our own true power. So your intuition is a direct connection to truth. The more you trust it, the more you can see it is a guiding light and a compass. You know, when I was a little girl, I would often know things before they would happen. And I'd receive intuitive insight of people and their true intentions. I could always feel people's energy and pain, even when they were smiling through it. I've known when people are lying or telling me what they think I want to hear instead of what they truly feel. Well, you can imagine how well that's gone over in relationships, right? Although it's a good trait for being a life coach. But, you know, even when I was in college, I could predict college games, who would win. I've been able to finish people's sentences. I always just chalked this up to being a crazy coincidence or just luck. But it was a knowing. It was a deep knowing within me. And it was an awareness, and it really was my intuition, a natural ability to understand energy and human nature and human truth. So trusting yourself and your intuition and those weird coincidences or quirky habits, that's part of your intuition talking to you. It's guiding you. It's here to help you forward. So trust yourself and your intuition, and this will help you thrive in the new energy in 2021 and beyond. Next, commit to being a joy seeker. Not only is Joyseeker my book, but truly, as we enter into 2021, we must look at our lives from a viewpoint of what brings me joy. How can I be of service? What do I really want to do with my time on earth? These questions are so important to answer right now because we're in a phase, a transition of creating new, of awakening to our true potential within. So by asking and answering these questions, you help yourself, but you also help everyone around you. And this in turn helps the planet. Every single one of us has been given a gift, many gifts, passions, unique set of skills, talents, and strengths. And it is our duty to honor that now more than ever. So as we enter into this 2021, it is essential that we become essential, and we do this by doing what we love. Not only do we help raise our own vibration into a place of joy, purpose, and passion, but we help to uplift all of those around us. Because when you do what you love, you are adding value to the world because you are in love. When you do what you love, you're of service. So what do you love? How can you start to design your life around your passion? Don't worry about what it looks like or how much money you make. Give yourself permission to do what you love, and everything will fall into place. We're useful when we are of service to others, and when we do what we love, we are contributing to the planet, and each one of us has a special piece to contribute. So in this new energy and how we can start thriving more in 2021, is to start to be of service. And we do that by seeking our own joy. And as you start to be of service to others, you realize that it's not about you at all, but the collective. The next is to recognize that we is the new me. Oneness is the way. For a long time, we've lived in a world where service to self, it seems to make sense. Go after your personal goals, get ahead, make more money. What is that goal you're working towards? And that's all well and good, but we can just look to the mainstream celebrity or musicians, even politicians, who really rise to the top. And it's because of the money, the accolades, and the fame, the look at me mentality. It's a lot of greed, a lot of ego. And as it does come from ego, this desire of look at me, it's just driven by greed. This energy can no longer last in this new age of intuition as we step forward into 2021. It has been an intense focus for so many on me, not we. And in this personal growth world, we often hear there's been a lot of attention focused on your best self, show up for yourself, manifest your best life. I'm part of that. I write personal development books. But there's a fine line here because there's another side to this that we feel that showing up for ourselves is selfish. I want to share with you that in itself is a condition, a mindset that has been handed to us by society. It is a limiting belief. Because being true to yourself is not selfish at all. When you show up for yourself and you are aligned with your truth, it is the greatest gift you can give to the world because you are in your power. And in your power, you help affect positive change. So when you're aligned with your truth, you will want to be there for others because that is our natural state. Humanity, humans love connection. We love helping. We love being part of something greater than ourselves. However, there are a lot of focus and a lot of people who are in pockets that are focused on self, focused on more money, more power, more gain. That can't work moving forward because it's all about collaboration and connection and togetherness. So your actions are about the collective and wanting to help others. So how can you help your family, your neighbors, your community, and yourself? In order to be there for others, we really do have to be there for ourselves. Showing up for me is essential in the new energy, but it looks a lot different than before. It might not be expensive, filters for your look at me on my phone or new makeup or whatever it is you're trying to get to perceive yourself as showing up. It really is no longer going to be driven by ego or control or how popular. I want you to think of the idea of it's no longer about how it looks, but how it feels. In my book, The Self-Love Experiment, there's a principle that talks about your life and self-love is about how you feel, not how you look. And that's the same energy we are moving into. The likes, the accolades, the people buying fake social media followers, all of that will no longer matter because what we're moving into is integrity, opportunity for truth, and truly in alignment with what matters most. And so if you're aligned with this energy, you will thrive. Absolutely. Your life will be just a magical, beautiful experience because you are aligned with your authentic power. So what this looks like is radical self-care. This looks like honoring your intuition. It even looks like trusting yourself more and sometimes making choices that are very difficult in the face of having to hurt others, not harm, but maybe this looks like parting ways in a relationship or changing careers or taking a break from something that you've been involved in for a very long time because it's important for you to trust your authentic path. And when you do the right thing, you are always feeling aligned because you're being guided. And in doing this, you are aligning to the greater good because it is the power of we as a collective. So don't be afraid to make those choices that get you onto the path of this feels in the highest good for all involved. This feels in alignment for we. It is no longer about me. Because we are in a position where we are seeing that we truly do need each other. We are one. In 2021 and beyond, Anybody who is focusing on control or conquest or more power, manipulation, or even separation, it can no longer exist in the Age of Aquarius energy, which is all about a system of collaboration, unity, and support. So look at your own life and look at, how am I being collaborative with those around me? How can I invite more unity into my own experience? Are you at war with yourself? Are you still saying mean things to yourself? Or are you being kind and compassionate? Because our outside world is a reflection of our internal state, as A Course in Miracles says. So what this truly means is that your inner world must be in collaboration in order for you to see the outside world with support and unity as well. And the same goes with how we look at our leaders. Are the leaders we're electing celebrating each other and uplifting one another with love and compassion? Or are they pointing out the flaws in others? Are they stuck in old energy and participating in a system of greed, power, manipulation, and hunger for self? Because this will not be able to move forward. We as humanity must come together across the whole world, no matter what country you're in, and look at our power by regaining our position of saying we no longer want to participate in a low consciousness of attack, manipulation, shame, or blame. And so what we want to do is look at who is of service to humanity, because ultimately of service to light, of service to self, or service to each other is the distinguisher here moving us forward. Where do you want to align your energy? The people who will thrive are of service to each other and of service to love and light. The next is discernment is key. The way to fully thrive in 2021 is to use discernment and let it guide you like a life force in itself. There are a lot of things being presented to us that look really good, things that are being presented that maybe are driving us to more fear or more low energy vibrations. And there are people of leadership telling us what we want to hear. But when you dig a little deeper and look at laws and new agreements and people that are getting placed into certain positions and regulations that are being implemented, it doesn't actually align with what they are being shared and told on a public level. There is a disconnect. There is something that is off. So use discernment. Do more research and use discernment with everything. Don't take anything at face value and always go inward to your heart and say, does this resonate? Does this feel true? We must use discernment and really align with what feels of the highest vibration of love and light. What feels good? There's a lot of information out there. And I've noticed even with spiritual teachers, politicians, authors, and world-renowned experts who are telling us things that really seem to be accurate. But when you look a little deeper, or even if you just feel into the vibration of it, something is off. And this is where we're entering. You will thrive in the new energy in the new year by getting in touch with your feelings. It's important to really trust this part of you. If something feels off, it is, and you don't always have to know why. To succeed in 2021 and the years beyond, we must move our awareness from trusting the outside world to trusting ourselves and our own inner world, because you have the power within you, your own intuition. So stop paying attention to everything that's presented to you as fact outside in the world, and start to trust your own facts and the research and the understanding that you have within. Feel the truth within your own system, within self. This is a journey for you to go on, and no, there is no wrong or right, because all of us are on our own journey, so every one of us will have a different point along the path of what is right for us. But what you know is that you want to keep committing to the truth. Commit to knowing the truth and use discernment with everything. Ask yourself, does this feel of alignment? Does this feel of unity? Does this feel of light and love? Not just lip service, not just because they're telling me that that's what I want to hear. Does it feel? Does it feel? That's the key. Honestly, I personally had to stop participating in politics. It's so corrupt. So I stopped listening and following mainstream celebrities because many are agenda-based. And I even unfollowed many of my author and celebrity friends because they just seemed so focused on fame and their accolades and how many followers they were getting. None of it felt like it was focused or felt like it was authentic. And what I started to do in 2020 is I noticed my intuition was saying, that energy feels dense. And I didn't always know why. But when I would go to that page or kind of follow that person, it felt like a manipulation. And so what you want to look at is bringing your power back to you. Look at where you're giving your attention. And a lot of the times, some of these people who are in very high positions are actually in it for themselves. In every industry, the celebrities, many of them, yes, there's a lot of focus on the greater good and many are doing good things. But if you feel into it, most of them are kind of just doing the role that they want to do so they can become more famous and make more money. And that's not about the greater good. What we want is the greater good. So just look at pockets of darkness, pockets of things that feel like it's ego-based instead of service to God and service to light and service to love-based. Because the truth is there is a greater good that is here, and it's about service to humanity. So just trust yourself and align with what feels like truth to you. Disregard the rest and just keep going. And the next thing we really want to know and honor is integrity and authenticity are the new rulers. As I said before, anything that is not of integrity and authentic, it's going to fall away in the age of intuition, in the age of Aquarius that we are now in 2021. Because we are stepping fully into a newer vibration, if you will, where more shadows and darkness, both on the planet, within ourselves and out in the world, have been revealed. That's a lot of what we saw in 2020. A lot of the darkness and the things that weren't addressed but were there for so long. It was kind of like a big flashlight or spotlight was shining down and it felt icky and gross. And there's more that will be coming out in 2021 because integrity and authenticity are the highest values now moving forward. So anything that is not in alignment with that is going to fall away, fall apart, be revealed, or just dissolve. And this is in your own personal life as well. You know, a couple years ago, I made a power word for myself. I like to make a word at the beginning of each year. I hope you do too. And this year, my word is light for 2021. Light, more light to the planet, more light within my life, lighter vibration, light. But one year I picked the word authenticity. And it was one of the most troubling, chaotic, crazy years of my life. And what I learned is because anything that was not authentic was revealed so it could fall away, so I could be in alignment with my true authentic self. So this is a year of authenticity, and that does mean that more is going to be revealed that is not in alignment with who and what we are as humanity, as a collective, as your own personal sovereign being. So in this space, you want to look at it is a process, and are you showing up in the best way you can for yourself? And are you choosing to really align with what feels good? Because integrity and alignment to truth, love, justice, and peace is the new way. And with that comes an awareness of the dark and any dark that is blocking us from these possibilities. So ask yourself, what does integrity mean to me? Who am I in this world, and how am I going to be more authentic? Another theme and trend that we will see, especially in 2021 and beyond, is to value your home. And really, it's about Gaia, planet Earth, as our partner. What we saw a lot in 2020 is people having a new revised love affair with their homes. With lockdowns happening across the world, many people were stuck at home and started to treat their home in a new way. So many people I know did renovations. I started to buy more houseplants and really create a space that felt like a sanctuary. This is important, and we're going to carry this forward, but also your home is Gaia, the planet we're on. And we've been mistreating her as a collective, as humanity. Even if you do everything you can in your power, recycling and showing up for the planet in ways, it's time for all of us to get on board with that. Mother Earth is a great teacher, a healer, and she is our partner here. She's our home. So as we step forward, we will see how great she truly is and how she is part of one with us as a home and has resources available to us. Everything we need is here on Earth, but it must be a reciprocal relationship. For so long, man has treated the Earth, man as in humanity, in such a way that has treated the earth just as disposable and using resources to extreme and treating, nature and animals in such a way that it doesn't matter. And so the planet is hurting. The planet needs our attention and our focus. And I believe with every fiber of my body and with what I know that there are new systems coming available, new sources of energy, new sources of health, new systems for helping clean up the planet. So if you feel called, show up for the call. How can you show up more for humanity as well as planet Earth? Maybe it's a mission. Maybe it's a trip to start to clean up the beaches. Maybe you want to clean up the oceans. Maybe you want to participate in a fundraising for animals who need help. The earth is part of us. We are all here on this earth, and now more than ever, we're going to start really seeing how we can work and support each other together to thrive, no longer just about survive. So it really is about showing up more by getting back to nature, your true nature, by being and doing what you love, but also spending time in nature, grounding yourself, taking your feet and putting them on the earth and the grass. I share this with my coaching clients when they're stressed out, and they always report back how much more grounded and balanced they feel, and I try to do it as much as I can as well daily. Go out into nature and just sit and observe, watch the trees, spend time in nature. If you like to garden, do more gardening. Spend more time outdoors and breathe in the fresh air. It is the most important thing we can do for ourselves, to allow yourself to breathe in the healthy air that is around us. Ground yourself in the earth energy and appreciate Mother Earth. This is a theme I know we'll see a lot more, and it's also part of what we can participate in more fully to feel more connected to each other and really thrive. So the final piece I want to share for the final forecast of this annual forecast for 2021 is to recognize we deserve better. Yes, rise up and reclaim your power. Now is our chance and our turn to really rise up and reclaim our power. For centuries, we've been giving our power away, thinking that that is what we're supposed to do. We've been stuck in this mask, in this veil of self-conscious, of shame, of guilt, of feeling bad for doing what we love, feeling bad for taking a vacation when we need to rest. This overworked, overstressed, overwhelmed mentality, it's got to go. We are rising up into a higher place within ourselves that recognizes there is a more natural way to live. There is a more innate way to survive, but it's not even about surviving anymore. We are moving from surviving into thriving. And we learn this by knowing that we deserve better. So if when you're looking out in the world and things feel off, recognize how you can make a difference. Ask yourself, what can I do to make a difference today? How can I create the life that I want to participate and live in? Maybe you're familiar. I want to close out today's forecast with one of my favorite stories that I've really kind of grabbed onto recently. And maybe you're familiar with it. It's the Plato's allegory of the cave story. It goes like this. There are prisoners in a cave, and they sit facing a wall, tied in chains with a fire that's actually behind them, which makes shadows on the wall in front of them. And these people who are in this cave their entire life, they see the shadows on the walls and they think that's reality, because that is what their fellow prisoners have told them, and that's what they can see, and that's what's conveyed to them. It's all they know, until one day one of the prisoners starts to question it. This prisoner breaks the chains that bind him, and he seeks out truth. He wants to escape the cave and go into the unknown world. In the outside world, he starts to realize there is a whole new world waiting for him. The sunlight, the nature, the elements all around him, it's all so beautiful and exciting. But yes, it's overwhelming, because the questioner, in spite of all the obstacles, he starts exploring even new layers of reality. And it becomes lonely because it's an unknown path to discover the truth. But this does not stop him. He will not give up on questioning his own spirit and the truth of it all. There is always more for us to learn. And that's why this story is very important, because there is always more to the reality that we see being presented to us. Always. Just look at who you were at the beginning of 2020 and who you are and who you've become today. Just think of where you want to be at the end of 2021. Who do you want to be in this world? How do you want to show up? Do you want to be stuck in that cave listening to what is presented to you and just going through the motions? Maybe that is something that really works for you because it's safe and it's secure. Or do you want to rise up to your potential and awaken to your true life and reclaim your power and seek out a new reality for yourself? And so the story continues. The questioner goes back to the cave and he tells the other prisoners all about this new reality, the real reality, the truth that is out there. And he tells them there's this beautiful world waiting for them. And there's more to life than just this cave and this imaginary reality that's been presented to them through the shadows. He shares his knowledge, and as he shares the knowledge, he's met with such surprise and disbelief, because the other prisoners look at him with rejection and they ridicule him and condemnation. With disbelief, they say, "Yeah, right." And I think this story that Plato presented so long ago is so important for us to recognize, because it is a metaphor for the way we've been to the way we are moving into. 2021 and beyond, the new age that we are in, represents seeking out the truth past what we've been told. This story is so relevant today as it's a metaphor for human nature. It seems more people are conditioned and comfortable with the, quote, consensus reality, unquote. It's what's presented to them. So we just keep going with what we know and what we've been told. But I invite you to seek out a larger truth of your own self, of who you are and who you are supposed to be in this world, and seek out a larger truth of life. Because what if there is more? I've discovered more, and countless people all over the world are starting to seek out a deeper understanding of what this life truly can be beyond the cave. So it's time to break out of the illusion. 2021 represents a beautiful time of leaving the old behind and living in the new energy, what is often called the new earth. Welcome to the new earth. It is time for us to reclaim our power. The years ahead will be magnificent when you step into your own true power and honor your calling. This forecast is obviously a guide to help support you in your own growth and your own personal journey. But with all of the tips, please go to your heart and understand that you are the master of your own life, and the true powerful process lies within your own heart. So as you move forward, connect with your truth, because your truth will always set you free.